How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. I appreciate you taking some time out to hang out with me while I talk about Marvel Rivals. This is a video that I'm very excited to share. I think it's a pretty cool one, and yes, it includes one of my famous slideshows. So I've just really been enjoying this new process of making these videos. I think it's definitely helpful. It helps me stay on track too. So let's go ahead and hop into this so you guys can see what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about carry potential. Are you tired of counting on your teammates? I know that I got to this point myself personally, and I can look back on it because it wasn't even that long ago. We're talking like 2 weeks ago. There was this point in time where I was really struggling, and we're talking from the beginning of season 2 to, well, 2 weeks ago, really. I could not get out of platinum. And I also struggled in the early stages trying to get out of bronze and silver and gold too. People throw, people quit, and playing strategist, I think it's easy sometimes. And I don't want to make this just about playing strategist, but for me, I'm just going to say, playing as a strategist, I thought for a while that putting out a high level of healing, like my teammates should just be able to do what they're trying to do. The tanks should be able to survive. The DPS, the duelist players should be able to deal the damage and get the elims. So you kind of fall into this passive style of gameplay, and this can happen whether you're playing strategist, Vanguard, or duelist. Playing passively can happen. When I saw the biggest change occur for me was when I started trying to take the game into my own hands, to look at what's happening and say, am I really contributing to the absolute highest potential possible that I have with whatever hero I'm playing as? And that was really when I started to see the wins start coming in a little bit more frequently. And I went from below like a 40% win rate to now I'm approaching 50%, which is, tough ground to cover when you do lose a bunch of games in the early ranks due to things that are out of your control, people quitting, people throwing, etc. So I think that this is a very, very important topic to cover, especially if you are below the GM rank right now, because if you can play specific heroes, and that's going to increase your chance of winning and your chance of being able to be the one that's making that happen, why not spend time learning those heroes, right? This is something that I wish I had considered earlier on and broken out of playing strategist earlier on as my primary role. It still is my primary. It's my most comfortable role. It's the most enjoyable role for me, truthfully. But I could have made my early rank up situation a lot more efficient by improving the amount of heroes that I could play as, and then also within that pool, focusing on the ones that have the biggest difference in the game. So we're going to hop into this, and I'm going to show you who I think can make the biggest difference for you while you're trying to rank up. Now, a few quick things first. Discord. It is up and running. I've got a link in the description. It's in the bio as well. If you have not joined yet, please do so. We've got an amazing community of people, and this leads into point 2. We've been able to play some games together. I hopped in, played some quick matches with some people last night, and it was just a ton of fun. It's just a fun, carefree environment. Everyone's super helpful. We've got people sharing clips and highlights in the Discord too. It's great. If you're not in the Discord yet, join it. It's a fun time, I promise you. Point number 3 here is VOD reviews. I've been asked quite a bit about doing VOD reviews. This is something I definitely want to do, both me doing it for other people and also having other people do it for me. I am still very much in the realm of trying to improve my gameplay and become a better Marvel Rivals player. This is my first true hero shooter I have ever played, so like I've said before, I'm not a pro. I am trying to learn just as much as you guys are, and that's what this channel is all about. So this is something that I really do want to start doing, and I plan to do that very soon. Point number 4. Mystic Mayhem. This is a new Marvel game that's actually coming out on mobile. It's a tactical RPG. I just saw it pop up like randomly in an ad the other day, and it looks pretty interesting. So I guess, is anybody else going to play this? Is this something that we could also chat about maybe? Let me know what you guys think. And if you're a returning viewer and you've subscribed already, thank you so much. I appreciate your support more than you could know. Truthfully, this has been such a fun venture for me, and I just love this community that we're building, and especially seeing it come together in the Discord and being able to play with you guys too. This is just so much fun. If you have not subscribed yet, take a moment to do so. If you don't know where that subscribe button is, it's just below the video. I'll wait just a second for you to find it. Perfect. Thank you so much for subscribing. Now, the first thing that we need to do is define carry. This can mean different things for different people, but for me, right, I consider this as you are the person that is actively and consistently making the biggest difference in the outcome of the match, and it is actually something that is noticeable. It's tangible. You can tell that you were the one that was doing it. I personally feel like it has to be effective enough to win the match. If you lose, it can certainly look like someone is still carrying, but then the argument could be made that maybe that method of play or the way you're approaching that match could have been changed to help the outcome a little bit different. So it's kind of hard to say you carried when you lost. That's just my opinion. You could be a strong contributor. But if you're really carrying, you're the one that's bringing that victory to fruition. I know some people feel like certain strategist alts or certain skills can be a carry. This is something that I actually disagree with. I hear this sometimes about Rocket and his alt being a carry. Rocket's alt is helping everybody else do what they're supposed to be doing. It's extremely important. It's very useful. It's a phenomenal alt in the game. Don't get me wrong here. But that alt itself is not making Rocket a carry in the game. If you are carrying, you're really just doing the most. Throwing up an alt that keeps your team alive during a team fight, valuable? Yes. Carry? To me, no. Now we do need to talk about some considerations in regards to carry too. You need to think about your preference, your long-term goal, and then the evolving meta as well. These are very important things to think about. Preference specifically. Look, some heroes are definitely a hard carry potential to main, but is that your playstyle? Is that something that you enjoy doing? If you're not having fun playing that hero, then I would argue you're not going to play well. A perfect example, and this is for me, Loki. Loki is a phenomenal strategist. I've said this many times in many videos. He's probably the best strategist to know how to play in the game. I find the playstyle boring. Like, just to be honest with you, I find it boring. I like to be highly mobile. Playing with Loki is like playing chess, basically. It's just super strategic. It's all about positioning and everything, which is great. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I just get bored. So I can play a handful of games with him, and then I got to switch to something where I can be more, involved in the fights and be, running in and out and that kind of thing. So it's like, I'll play 3-4 games with Loki, and then I got to play a game as Cap or something just to start running around a little bit. So something to consider. Your long-term goal as well. Now, if you're trying to rank up and just keep ranking up and keep ranking up, then I think that has an effect on who you spend your time learning, because certain carry potential heroes have more longevity than others. The evolving meta is something that's extremely important to be considering as well, because something that works today might not work next week. So definitely be paying attention to how the changes are being made and what you're seeing happen within games, noticing when you are getting countered as the hard carry that you're choosing to play as and who you should change to instead. It's important to make sure you can play with multiple carry possible heroes rather than just one, because updates could come out and that one carry hero now might be less effective. So make sure that you're building up that hero pool and you're able to flex more than one hero. The first ones that I want to know are what I would consider to be the easiest. This is like right in your face. Play these heroes: Torch, Storm, Iron Man, and Squirrel Girl. Now look, I know some of you might disagree with me putting Squirrel Girl in here, but she's extremely easy to play as. It's not difficult to master her kit. You can do it in just a few games and the value is there. I debated putting Groot here instead of Squirrel Girl, and the reason that I didn't is because she just counters him insanely. I also thought about putting Punisher here in the 4th slot, and this isn't in any specific order, but I would say that Squirrel Girl would maybe be the lower priority of these three if you wanted to make that distinction. But Punisher has to be more in the fight, and he doesn't have the greatest mobility. It can be really hard to manage that. He can be easy to single out. But then when you're considering Squirrel Girl as an example, you can be so far back from the fight, you can be so removed from it that it's easier to play that DPS role with her and have a huge difference. She counters the tanks massively. It's crazy damage. Groot's walls don't stand a chance. Now, when I talk about them being the easiest, again, this is just my opinion, but I'm also talking a little bit more about the lower ranks. If you are just starting out, or if you're still struggling to get through gold or through plat, mastering one of these three heroes is going to make a huge difference for you. We're seeing Torch in the tournament gameplay right now. Everyone thought that the nerf was too much. You couldn't play as him anymore. You can. He's extremely viable. He is extremely valuable, and he's going to help you progress through really all of the ranks. There's a lot of longevity in that hero right now. Same thing with Storm, and same thing with Iron Man too. I feel like you do see him a little bit less in the tournament play and also within maybe the higher ranks too, but the flyer poke meta right now is very, very much still a thing. And you've got AoE damage with Torch and Iron Man. Iron Man has single instance damage that's high enough with his ult to nuke people out of the support strategist ults. Storm is doing crazy damage, has an ult that's almost unavoidable, and she can buff the whole team. So there's just a lot of value in these four. and it's pretty easy to sort their kits out and get comfortable with them. And if you're comfortable with these 4, especially in the lower ranks, I think you're going to find yourself carrying more often than not, especially with the flyers, because to deal with them, you got to have an enemy team that has high accuracy for this to become a problem for you to play these 3. Now, in the lower ranks, I would say it's less likely you're going to find people that are hyper accurate, so you're going to get away with a lot. You're going to be able to deal a lot of damage, get in and out. They've got good mobility. I just think there's a lot of value in these 4, and I think that you guys will see that too if you start trying it out. The first role that we are going to focus on is going to be the Duelists. For me, priority number 1, if you want to learn a hard carry, it's going to be Wolverine. The reason that I say that is because his value is honestly just unmatched right now. I did not expect to see him used as much as he's being used in the Marvel Rivals Ignite tournament right now, but he is in almost every game. He's dealing massive damage. He's got great mobility. He has a built-in ability to survive. He is just an absolute menace. He is so good. If you want to pick just one hard carry hero to spend your time on that's going to carry you through the ranks and still be valuable no matter what your rank ends up being, Wolverine is, for me, the top pick. Next on the list, I would say, is Torch. I think we all assumed the nerf that happened to him at the Season 2.5 update was too much for him to really be that valuable and that playable anymore, but his use in the tournament right now has proven that concept or that thought to be wrong. He is very hard to counter. He's got great DPS and mobility, a lot of AoE damage, great ability with his AoE to help control the objective, and he's got longevity too. This is a hero that you can spend time on, and he's going to help you carry, your team from the start of the ranks all the way up through until one above all if you manage to get that high. He is very strong, and I don't think that he should be ignored anymore. The nerf clearly was not a big deal, or they would not be playing him in almost every single match in the tournament, even trying to ban him. So I think that this is a phenomenal choice if you are wanting to really take the game into your own hands and not count on your teammates to do things anymore. Wolverine, Torch, these are phenomenal choices. And then I made a little list here of some strong alternates: Punisher, Iron Man, and Storm. All of them have great potential. We're seeing a lot of Punisher, especially because of the buff that he got in Season 2.5. He is very powerful. He's being played often in the tournament. High damage. He's got an extended clip. His ult is terrifying. As soon as you hear that, like, everybody just has to run away. Iron Man, again, we talked about him previously in Storm as well, but these two, we do see them, being played into the higher ranks, and we are seeing them as well. Especially Storm, we're seeing her often enough in the tournament right now that I could say, well, if people playing for money are playing with these heroes, they're pretty good. These would be strong alternates. I would say, in my opinion, that I would stress learning Torch and Wolverine above these 3, just because of how we're seeing that gameplay look at this point in time. But these would be phenomenal picks if you don't really like the play style of the other 2. Punisher is totally different than all of them. There's 3 flyers in this right now. Wolverine is a melee, so I wanted to include just like a ground DPS, and Punisher clearly is the one to fit that role. Squirrel Girl too. Look, you can play as her. She's amazing. We've seen some great gameplay in the tournament. I have had some incredible games with her as well. I just wouldn't put her at the top because I do think that her longevity it's not quite there as much as the other ones. Situationally, conditionally, she can be phenomenal, but as a blanket statement, I would say she loses a little value as you get a little higher up in the ranks. And now, on to the Vanguards. Magneto. This is undeniable, okay? I know some people find his playstyle boring. I get it. I find Loki's boring, but, they're different. This is a different role. He's arguably the best Vanguard in the game at the moment. I think that this is undeniable. We're seeing a ton of play from him in all game modes at all ranks, tournament included. He's extremely difficult to take down. He's got great protection. His ult has the ability to take, Cloak out right after her ult is completed and just erase the ult from the map. You can take other people out of other support strategist ults like Invisible Woman's as well. It's undeniable. He has the ability to protect the team so well with his shield, with his bubble. He is just a phenomenal tank, and the amount that we see him played is clearly testament to his value. I think it is a little bit more difficult to truly say you're going to carry or be the one that carried as Magneto, but the impact that he brings to the fight is undeniable. You might not be getting at MVP with him, but that doesn't matter, right? MVP is irrelevant, truthfully. His team fight impact is undeniable. And he has the ability with his bubble to help your DPS player or somebody else who's doing really good work in that match gain some immunity, gain some survivability. It's just, he has an amazing kit as a Vanguard. Emma Frost. Absolutely incredible. I know people thought that the nerfs that she got at 2.5 were going to reduce her playability, but it didn't. She is still very, very good. High damage output, strong survivability. If you are able to keep your main attack charge at 100%, that is the difference between a good Emma and a great Emma. Her ice shield use can block ults. She can deal tons of damage, and she has the ability to grab and nuke strategists if they overextend or get out of position, or if you're just good at analyzing how a fight is working and realizing when you can kind of push through that front line and maybe grab a rocket or an invis or something and just nuke them. She is so powerful and very, very difficult to deal with. You can definitely hard carry your team with her. I've done it myself. I've gotten a decent amount of MVPs playing as her. The damage is there. It's just amazing. The one weakness I would say would be the flyers, but that's okay. You don't have to be able to deal with everything. So I would say that you could certainly carry with her. And then I want to put in some worthy mentions here as well. Groot, Doctor Strange, and Cap. Groot is very, very powerful. He is hard countered by Punisher and Squirrel Girl, but I would say in the early ranks, if you play as Groot, you're going to be pretty effective. Now, I do stand by what I said before. In the earlier ranks, if you're thinking about playing Groot, chances are the enemy team is going to have them too, especially because you don't have the bands unlocked yet until you get into gold. You're going to see a lot of Groot. But my argument would be just play Squirrel Girl and Punisher and counter that. Make that enemy team's tank lose pretty much the highest value that their kit has, which is the obstruction from the walls. Doctor Strange is far more valid now since the season 2.5 buffs, and he has amazing crowd control with his shield and team protection, and the teleport. It's very important. If you only know how to use Strange for the teleport, that's enough. Everyone needs to know how to do that. That can be the difference in winning and losing a match for sure. Cap is also another great one to mention. I would say he's more annoying and more of a distraction than anything else, but he does deal good damage, and while you can ignore him, you can only do it for so long. If you ignore him too much or you neglect his presence, he's going to surprise somebody and get an elimination on a strategist, and then, the value is there. You don't want to let yourself be too distracted by him, because then his job is being done then. He's distracting you from dealing with the team fight at hand. He's pretty good, but I think it's more of like a conditional situation. You need to have the right healing in place for it to be super valid. Pairing him with Wolverine is definitely a very strong concept, having the two of them doing the diving together. But then you really, you're going to need Ultron in there. You're going to need Luna ideally, so that you can make sure that you're still getting heals on them when they're out of sight of the healers. And finally, let's talk about the strategists. Number one, the one that I get bored playing, Loki. Look, playing as a strategist, I think it's very hard to say that you can hard carry as a strategist and you can be the one that's just winning the game. As much as I would love to say Jeff is a hard carry, maybe situationally, maybe under the right conditions he could be, but you're putting up a lot to chance with him. You're doing a lot of damage with Jeff, and I'm not going to go on some tangent of Jeff here when we're supposed to be talking about Loki, but I wanted to be very strict with the strategists about who could be a carry. Jeff doesn't make the cut, I don't think. Phenomenal, great with the season 2.5 changes, but it doesn't really compare to a strategist like Loki. He has an incredible use case. He deals good AoE damage, good AoE healing. His kit allows him to have things up on the map that you have to deal with. It's kind of like the squids, right? You got to deal with the Loki clones. He can move around. He's hard to get to. He's hard to target. And because of that, the team fight impact can be absolutely insane. Plus, he can copy another hero's kit entirely and play as them for, I think it's 15 seconds or 20 seconds or something like that. But I don't play as him too much. I don't know the timing, but it's enough, right? This allows you to use another game-changing support alt like Luna or Invis or Rocket as an example, or even to double up on Jeff, or to use a DPS to, copy Storm or get another maximum pulse out of Iron Man. This is so powerful. He is incredible. And just playing as Loki, you can certainly be the win condition, without a doubt. The only thing that I would say about him, and this isn't a bad thing, it's just something to be considered, is that it's not a very simple hero to play as. Ease of use, it's not there like it is with some of the other heroes that we have available to us. His kit is great. I don't know if I would say that it's necessarily the best, but it's really good. But he has a very high skill ceiling. There's so much that you can do with him, and if you can master him, you will be an absolute menace. And he can certainly carry and maintain longevity and be very useful in the higher ranks as well. Another strategist that I would say you can hard carry with would be Ultron. He deals a ton of damage. I know it's easy to look at him and say he's not the best strategist in the game. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. And if you're looking at that in the sense that he's not healing, as much as some of the other strategists are, I don't think that's really a valid reason. He's kind of like Adam Warlock or Mantis. He's there to be a third. He deals a ton of damage, and he can do good healing. And if you're pairing him with 2 other true healers, that can make your team very, very difficult to take down. Plus, he's a flyer, so it's hard to hit him. The enemy team's got to be really accurate. Now, granted, for you to deal damage as him, his optimized damage, you got to be pretty accurate too. But if the enemy team is not super accurate, you're going to be able to get away with a lot. He's got high mobility, decent survivability for himself. He can do crazy healing. It can happen for sure once you learn how to use him super well, but using him to run the flank angle and just deal damage to the enemy team, you can certainly carry through the early ranks with him without a problem whatsoever. And I couldn't help it. I had to put Adam Warlock in here. And it's not in like the traditional sense, or I would say this is a conditional option. Adam Warlock is so good though. He is absolutely incredible. We're seeing him played constantly in the Marvel Rivals Ignite tournament right now, and that's because of the team up with Star-Lord and Mantis. The triple res comp, guys, it is undeniable how strong this is. The ability to have your teammates like cocoon after a death due to his passive because of the team up, and then they can just revive themselves. It's amazing. On top of that, his ult being able to bring people back, you can bring your whole team back. The enemy team can use a bunch of their ults to just wipe your team, and he can just bring them back. It's incredible. This is an absolutely amazing kit. I wouldn't say that he himself, like as a unit, I would consider to be a carry, but the kit he brings to the table, the value that he brings to your team is carry potential. If your team is good, right? They've got to be good. If your team's not good, you're not going to see the value. But if your team is good and you can flex Warlock, you are going to be the one that conditionally carries the team. This is just one that I wanted to note. This is an extremely, extremely important hero to know how to play and to understand. It's going to make a big difference in your games if you can get very good with him. Accuracy is what you're going to really need to spend your time on. Utilizing his kit, not too difficult. There's some timing involved in it, and for his ult, where you decide to do it is also important. Location's very important. You're going to need to work on accuracy. You have to be accurate with him to be very effective, but I'm saying conditionally, this is like a carrying kit. He is very good. Definitely learn him if you want to play the strategist role. And that's it. Pretty simple, straightforward video. Thank you guys so much for taking some time to hang out with me and watch this video. This was really fun for me to make. I think this is a really cool concept to be considering. And if you are struggling with ranking up like I was, I hope that this is very helpful for you. This should be a good way for you to isolate specific heroes, figure out what playstyle you like, learn who to flex with so that you can, play some different roles, but also maybe just play some like different heroes within the same role and have an incredible impact on your ability to bring the victory to your team. So if you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so, like and turn on notifications as well. Got a lot more videos coming out. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to hang out with me. This was a lot of fun for me to do. Oh, and join the Discord. Link is in the description and also in the bio. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.